Hosted by Matt Riches. Watch the market unfold. Turning data to gold. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. The market is about to close in a few minutes. It is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. QQQ hit all-time highs today. So did Apple, so did AVGO, so did Micron, which is MU. SPY did not. And SPY is about to break its 4-day winning streak. Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and TSM are all red on the day. The Fear and Greed Index is in neutral at 54, so still got room to go as far as that. The VIX is under 16 again, so that's good. All right. This show is for education and entertainment only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Before we get into the charts, let's get into the mindset. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, let's get into some data. Here's what makes today important. It was not a simple red day. It was not a clean green day either. The market was selective. SPY's gonna close down more than 0.5%. The Qs is down almost 0.25% with less than 1 minute to go. Or it would have been the 5th day in a row for SPY, but it's breaking that streak. So that's okay. You know, it's not gonna be green every day. QQQ was stronger on the day. We did hit all-time highs. First candle of the day on the Qs. We hit 748.65. Okay, we're going to see if it can turn green in the last 40 seconds. It's looking like that's not going to happen. The VIX is pushing up. It's now 1604. All right. Nvidia sold off today. Down more than 3.5%. Microsoft down more than 3%. Amazon down more than 2.5%. TSM down more than 2%. Meta is up over 4% though. All right. We did have some data that came out in the morning. There it is, y'all. Market close. The market is closed for June 3rd, 2026, 1 p.m. You know, it's California time where I'm at. All right, so let's run these numbers, y'all. SPY closed down 0.7%. Look at this sell-off on the last candle. 0.7%, so that's $754.13. QQQ closed down 0.2% at 744.21. The VIX is at 1606. Hosted by Matt Riches. Nvidia is down 3.6%. The 214.75. Google is down 0.7% at 358.99. Apple is down 1.5% at 310.26. Microsoft is down 3.1% at 427.49. Amazon is down 2.5% at 250.02. TSM is down 2.2% at 436.69. AVGO is down 0.49% at $479.23. Meta closed up $25. That's 4.2%. And they did close inside the gap. It's back at 622.98. Tesla is barely under break even at 0.01% at 423.70. MU is up 1.4%. That's $15. It did hit an all-time high on this 1230 candle. I'm on a 15-minute chart right now. All-time high was $1,089.29. Current price $1,079.57. Berkshire B is up 0.8% at 475.52. All right, let me run some of these. Let's check out the sectors, y'all. So the technology sector was down 1%. Consumer discretionary was down 0.7%. Communication sector. This looks like we filled this gap on here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this gap. But communications was down 1.3%. Energy was the best sector of the day at positive 1.29%. The worst sector for today was communications, down 1.3%. Second worst was financials, down 1.1%. Healthcare was up 0.7%. Consumer staples was up 0.4%. Utilities was down 0.4%. Industrials was barely under break even as down 0.08%. Materials was up 0.2%, and the real estate sector was barely over break even, up just 2 cents, 0.05%. All right, let's check out some of these other tickers we like to look at on the show. SPX is currently 7,556, down 0.75%. The NAS 100 is down 0.4% at 30,555. The Dow Jones was down 1.2%. It's currently at 50,736. The 10-year Treasury note, it did go into the gap after gapping up, but it ended up pushing out of the gap, and it did close above the gap at 4.49. Gold was down 1% today, down to $4,442 an ounce. The gold mini shares ETF was down 0.9%. AMD was up 4%, closed at $542.52. Bitcoin is down to 65,219. IBIT is down to $37. Ethereum is down under 1,800. It's at $1,796. BMNR is down almost 6% at 1,690. Palantir is down 6.5% at 142.20. Robinhood is down 6% at 82.85. GLW barely over break even at 276. SanDisk was up 6.7% at 1,831. MU was up 1.4% at 1,079. Western Digital was up 5.5% at 594. Seagate was up 1.5% at 940. Excuse me. Drum was up 0.2% at $69.71. CoreWeave was down 6.9% at $110.93, and Nebius was down 3.4% at $251.68. Let's check out some of these ETFs we like to check out on the show. IWM was down 1.3%. SPYM was down 0.66%. QQQM was down 0.2%. SPYG was down 0.98%. SOXQ was up 1.4%. TQQs was down 0.75%. SOXL was up 5.3% and hit 280, y'all. Just incredible. SMH up 0.9%. SOXX up 1.7%. XLG down 1.1%. The IVES 30s down 2.9%. SPYI down 0.5%. And QQQI down 0.1%, y'all. What a day it has been. And it's still dropping in the aftermarket so far. Alright, let's see. Let's check out Robert Greene's daily law for today. Title: Take control of your image. Today's law is about controlling perception. Robert Greene reminds us that people judge quickly based on appearance. If you are not intentional, people will project their own assumptions onto you. The lesson is to take control of your image. Do not let the crowd define you. Be intentional, be adaptable, and do not become too predictable. For long-term investors, today's market is a perfect example of why perception and reality must be separated. The market can look strong because of QQQ, Apple, AVGO, and Micron hit all-time highs, but underneath the surface, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and TSM are all red. So investors must look deeper than the headline. Do not just ask whether the market made new highs. Ask who led, who lagged, where capital flowed into. Ask which companies are actually holding strength. For day traders, this law connects directly to price action. A ticker can look strong in the first candle and still fade. Apple hit a new all-time high, then turned red. QQQ hit an all-time high and then turned red after that. Micron hit an all-time high late in the day. Meta entered the gap. Each chart has its own image, but the truth is in the reaction. Do not assume. Do not marry the first move. Let price reveal what is real. Alright, let's get back on these charts, y'all. So let's go over a trade that I made today. What did I trade today? I traded the Qs today. So we could go on a 1 minute chart. And I'll show you my trade from this morning. Here it is. So I got into some calls here. At 717. QQQ was 745.70. Then I exited the calls here at 7:30. So I was in the trade for almost 13 minutes. Exited at $746.51. So I had a green trade today. I only took one trade. I should have took these Google puts later in the day. I looked at it, but I didn't take it. And it went right in that direction. But 1 for 1 today, 1 for 1 yesterday. So yes, I do like this strategy, y'all. So if you look on a 5 minute chart here, the strategy be hitting, I'm telling y'all. Okay, so it was the cross. Let's see. Here we go. Here's a 5 minute chart. So we just had the cross up. We had the 9 cross the VWAP. Bought it right here. Sold it up here. That's all to it. That's all to it, y'all. It's just a momentum trade. All right, let's get into some news. Okay. Oh, yeah, we had some earnings today. So let's check out these earnings right quick. Who had earnings after market close? Oh, yeah, AVGO. Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. We got a $1 ticker with earnings today. Let's see what's good, y'all. Let's see. Oh, it looked like it ain't came out yet. Let's check. CrowdStrike also had earnings today. Ooh, CrowdStrike dropping. Ooh, damn, look at this candle, y'all. This candle is minus $72, minus 9.6%. So I'm gonna assume that CrowdStrike missed on earnings for them to be down $72 after market close. Who also had earnings? ChargePoint. Oh, this is a nice candle for them. Up 4%. Let's see, AVGO. Anything? Nothing yet. Looks like just regular movement. So nothing yet. We'll check back later on AVGO. Actually, let's put it on a 1-minute chart. And then as soon as we see a big reaction, then that should let us know that the numbers dropped. So these are just regular candles. So we'll see if we get a huge candle, a lot of volume. We turn on the volume. See how the volume is nothing? Alright, let me get to the news, y'all. Oh, what the heck? Hold on. I know I had some news stories ready. There we go. Okay. We got some comedy from Trump, y'all. Trump said, this is from Unusual Wells. Trump has compared the UFC arena at the White House to the Eiffel Tower and says it could be permanent, y'all. Hey, maybe while he's in the White House, it'll be permanent. They got fights once a year or something. They should have fighters from other countries come and fight at the White House. That would be dope. On some real Olympics type shit. Next, Google just announced that it's increasing the size of its capital raise. Remember yesterday I gave you that story that Google was raising $80 billion. Well, they just raised it up to $84.75 billion. They want some more. They want some more bread. All right, next, VOO, the VOO, just became the first ETF ever to have more than $1 trillion in assets under management. That's a lot of money under management, y'all. Shout out Vanguard, man. The master investor been telling us to buy VOO ever since 2020, y'all. And now it's became the first ever ETF to cross $1 trillion in assets under management. All right, next up, the robo-taxi money keeps getting bigger. Uber has committed almost $500 million, $500 billion, to self-driving startup Nuru, far more than was previously reported. The breakdown: participation in a $203 million Nuro round at about a $6 billion valuation. An unreported follow-on investment significantly larger than the first. Milestone-tied funding for driverless testing and commercial launch. Some milestones have already been... Ooh, look at this candle on AVGO, y'all. Ooh, that thing dropping. I guess they missed. This is an AI play too. Uh-oh. Is this the beginning of the market turnaround? Because we just had this chip company. I don't know, y'all. This is looking bad. We're down $31 on this candle so far. Ooh, man. Damn. But, we'll see. They still got to have the call and talk about the earnings. So, all right, next. This is from Uncle Charles on Twitter. He said, Amazon has taken over the #1 spot on the Fortune 500 as a top revenue-generating company, pushing Walmart to #2. And Walmart had held that spot for 13 years, y'all. Just to give you a heads up, United Health Group is #3, Apple's #4, Google's #5. So shout out Amazon, y'all. I hope Amazon is in your portfolio. All right, next, Apple's smart glasses may now be delayed until 2029, but Apple AI glasses may still be coming next year. So that's probably why Apple was down today. But they did hit all-time highs, so it might just be profit taking. But Apple AI products getting pushed back further, y'all. Should have never came out with the Vision Pro, trying to keep up with Meta. They should have just been focusing on his own ideas and innovation. All right, next. Remember we told you about Bill Ackman and what is his name? His fund, Pershing Square, I believe. Yes, Pershing Square. They will sell their full $80.6 million share stake in Universal Music Group after Universal Music Group's board rejected the unsolicited takeover bid. Pershing had acquired roughly a 10% position from Vivendi in 2021 for around $4 billion, then proposed a $55 billion cash and stock deal in April of this year at a 78% premium, and that was rejected a few days ago. So they said, no, we're not selling to y'all. All right, next. AI taking more jobs, y'all. So Uber has cut 24% of human resources, talent acquisition, and recruiters, y'all. More AI taking jobs. Next up, Anthropic said to pick Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs to lead their IPO, y'all. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs to lead Anthropic's IPO for later this year, y'all. All right, let's see if I can get some numbers. Let me see. Okay, here go AVGO numbers, y'all. Earnings, they missed on earnings. Hold on. No. They beat on earnings. The estimate was 2.4. It came in at 2.44. So a small beat on earnings, but they missed on revenue. That's what it was. The revenue estimate was $22.27 billion. It came in at $22.18 billion. All right. Peace, blessings, financial freedom, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube Live.